Hi guys, my name is Spencer. I'm here with Radical Fencing. Really excited to be doing a series on some great exercises you can do at home to stay sharp without needing to go to club to train. Today we're going to be talking about targets and how to do target practice while at home. I happen to have a great target here. You can also make one with a pillow and duct tape and just putting it on the wall, or propping up a fencing bag also often works. What this video is going to consist of, I'm going to go through 5 sort of key points that I think are important to keep in your mind while you're doing it, and then I'm going to give a guided exercise. Feel free to do it along, feel free to fast forward. Also, in the description below will be all of the exercises written out in case you don't want to watch the full video. So, the 5 things that I think are really important to target practice. First, make sure you're wearing a glove and some fencing shoes. Some people even like to do this in their full fencing outfit. This is helpful for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it actually gives you a much better feel of your blade and what it's going to be like in a competition or in a real bout. Second, it's going to make sure that you feel like you're in, when you transfer this over to that competition or that bout, you're just going to feel similar to when you were practicing it. Even if you're standing still and hitting the target, I still like to wear fencing shoes while doing this. Number 2, on my target I have 2 small pieces of tape. You can put them kind of wherever you want, but it's really useful to have really small, precise points on your target you're aiming towards. You don't always have to hit them, and don't get frustrated if you don't hit them, but it's useful to not just be aiming towards a large area on a target. Number 3, I think this is super important. To me, this is the most important thing. I see a lot of people when they do target practice go really fast. This actually is not great. What you want to do is actually do target practice slowly. When you go slowly, you can feel what you're doing and feel how each part of your body contributes to it. What's your elbow doing? What's your forearm doing? What's your wrist doing? What's your fingers doing? This is really important because one thing you want to be looking to perfect via target practice is the minutia of how you move each part of your body when you're doing each of your actions. And it's a great opportunity to improve and make yourself more efficient during these little steps that often you don't feel the extent of if you do it too fast. The 5th and final thing that I think is super important here to pay attention to is your distance to the target. I see a lot of people do target practice and hit really hard and their blade bends really hard. Sometimes that's what you're practicing, but often it's not. Almost never is it the case. What you want to try and feel is how can you hit the target so your blade almost doesn't bend? Just the point depressing. These are the 5 things that I think are really important to keep in mind. Awesome. Now, what we're going to start off with, as I said, something for me, distance is really important. I like to start, find exactly the point where my point is on the target, and then go to on guard. My on guard, my point's a little bit higher, so I start here, and I'm going to drop in 10 times, point to target, just with bringing it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Now what I like to do is come from a different position. I started up in 6, high 6. I'm going to come from over. Sometimes I'm in this position fencing lefties, sometimes it's close distance. And I'm going to do the same thing, just dropping in the point from in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to come from down. So I like to go advancing sometimes in 8. Some people like to come here. Wherever you advance from, this is a good place to practice. So I like to drop my blade here when I'm doing absalons to fair and advancing. I'm going to practice 10 hits from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And something to feel here when you're doing this type of exercise is how your fingers and wrist contribute to the hit. Now I like to take it a little bit further back. Same starting position, we're going to start in 6 with an extension. Again, and I want to feel that I'm going through the last step when I do this. So I start by bringing my point down, extending and hitting. And note, I'm at a distance where my blade bends a little bit, but just enough. And I really want to feel with my fingers how I'm getting the point depressed. So starting from 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I'm going to start from 4. So this is something that actually I like to practice a lot, is starting from a parry. So from parry 4, I'm going to riposte. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Cool. Now, again, I like to go through this whole cycle in each of the positions. I'm going to come from when I'm advancing like this. Again, this is something I like to do against left-handed fencers. If you have different positions you like to attack from, that's absolutely where you should be practicing this from. This is something I like to be where I'm advancing. So from this position, I'm going to practice, again, simple extension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next one, we're going to come from here. Again, just somewhere you like go from there. Something to really pay attention to here is how similar this exercise should feel to the last one. The only difference is that the final placement of your point comes from extending your arm just a little bit. And we're going to go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Shake it out a little bit. Now, what we're going to do is take it a little bit further back. So before we were here, which was just an extension distance a little bit, now we're going to be at a distance where we have to fully extend hip. And again, I'm not here where I'm bending my blade too much. I'm not where I have to miss and like lean over and do something weird. I'm right in a position where I feel comfortable that if I extend, I'm basically just depressing the tip and bending it a little bit. And I'm going to start from the same position. And note that now I'm going to go through both of the last two positions. So it's just a little bit further. I start here, I go here, and we're just at the same place we were, and then we just extend a little bit further. Breaking it down this way, I think, really helps build an appreciation for each of the steps involved. So again, from a pretty high 6, start with the point on target, extend your elbow, and finish the extension and place your point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something to notice here is, even though we're extending further, keep a smooth feeling throughout. And going slow really helps you find them. Again, now we're going to go from 4. From parry 4 position, extend hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. And again, now we're going to go from this position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And last but not least, come from outside or wherever you do your marching attacks. I know a lot of people, for example, from M team come from here. Kind of depends on what you like, but wherever you do your marching attack from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And again, it's important, shake it out a little bit between, stay nice and loose. The point here is not to be tense, but to practice being relaxed. Next, what we're gonna do is same action, but with an advance. So again, I can't harp on this enough. The point of doing these exercises in succession is that you can feel how each one becomes the next. So this is just an extension. My whole upper body is exactly the same, but now I'm moving my lower body as well and finding the timing. So this is a really important way to start. Find your distance, find where you're standing, you're hitting, and then take a step back. Now, practice feeling how you step exactly into the distance where you hit and just depress your tip. That's really a big part of this drill. And again, all the same fundamentals apply. Start with your point first, extend your arm slowly and towards the target. We're gonna start in a high 6, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And depending on how you've been taught, I always like to do this exercise such that I'm trying to have my point and foot hit the ground around exactly the same time. If anything, you want your point hitting first. If you're hitting like this, so foot, then target, you want to reconsider how you're doing this. Part of the reason that it's actually sort of a trap you can fall into is because if you wait with your leg, it's much easier to aim your arm. But what you want to practice is not having to think and aim, but how you aim in the action. Again, we're going to do this from all of the different places. So from a parry 4, extend hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. And something else you want to keep in mind is to stay in on guard in between each of the hits. Don't advance hit and sort of stand up and walk back, but extend advance and then retreat. Cool. We're going to move on to the next line we're attacking from. For me, it's here. And we're going to extend advance. 1, retreat, recover. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And next target from your marching attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And shake it out a little bit. Last and not least is to start with a lunge. So again, we're just going to start in 6. It's the same concept. We're going through the same exact motion with our arm that we were before, but we're delivering with our feet in a lunge this time instead of an advance. Now, to find the distance, get in a lunge, find the point where you're just hitting the target, and recover. What I like to focus on here is doing a type of lunge where you don't move your back foot and feeling in control. It goes along with the slowness. If you do want to move your back foot, that's totally fine, but just be conscious when you're recovering to do a retreat after you recover. So we're going to start in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then again, we're going to go from 4. So imagine you're taking a parry forward, and now you're going to post to the lunge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now from the next position, we're going to go from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next position, your marching attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now, if you have more space, I unfortunately don't, you can do advanced lunges, you can do flushes if you like to. Thanks for training with me today, guys. That's all for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope it's something helpful that'll allow you to train. In the coming days, we're going to be producing more of these videos from myself and other of the members of the Radical family. Also, we're going to be taking submissions from the community, so if there's something you want to share, send it along. If there's something you'd like to see or questions you have on anything in this video, leave it in a comment or message us. We're more than happy to help. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And guys, have a great rest of your evening and keep being awesome.